Hello everybody, my name is Tubasplat, and welcome to... I don't know how to phrase this as a welcome to. So, as I'm recording this on June 2nd, WWE has released yet another round of talent, and that is including, but not limited to... Hang on a second. As I try to find... as WWE has come to the release of Braun Strowman, Aleister Black, Lana, Murphy, Ruby Riott, and Santana Garrett. And I figured on making this video just as a... And of course this is already following after WWE releases Samoa Joe, Billie Kay, Peyton Royce, Mickie James, Chelsea Green, Tucker Kalisto, Mojo, Bo Dallas, and Wesley Blake. I believe there were some NXT talents also cut, but I cannot come up with any off the top of my head right now. So I figured not to really make light of a situation, since these cuts were all so close together. I figured why not try to make a video on kind of speculation or maybe some fantasy booking on where these people can go. Oh, we can also throw in Daniel Bryan since he's also gone. I completely forgot about Daniel Bryan. So I just got a spreadsheet set up here. We can go through and I don't believe anybody else has been released in between these two Black Wednesdays and Daniel. But I don't think anybody else has been released in between other than Daniel Bryan. I don't remember. So again, so the goal for this video is just going to be, again, just fantasy booking on who can go where. Obviously, of course, the obvious choices are AEW and Impact, and then somebody in my Discord server also brought up the good point, a fair point, of there's also ROH, NWA, and MLW, and then I put other, meaning New Japan and other stuff like that. Okay. So let's start, then I figured I'd bulk these together. Sorry, I keep going all over the place. This is just offhand coming up with stuff. I figured bulking these two together because the first round from April 15th, their no compete clauses are still in effect. I think they expire next month, I think. So yeah. So let's start first with the first round Black Wednesday on April 15th. And I'll kind of give my reasoning for why I think somebody should go somewhere else, or why certain people should go one way versus the other. So let's go first with Samoa Joe. I think it's obvious that Samoa Joe has to go to Impact. Or AEW, I'm sorry. Joe is a freak athlete. He's already done the runs with Impact. Obviously, he's a TNA original homegrown member. He's already done the ROH thing. I feel like not to say that MLW or NWA are lesser. I feel like though for Samoa Joe, they'd be more of a step down for him than either going back to Impact, go to ROH, but to go to AEW. Plus, I'll put a video in the description of a buddy of mine and his friends that they talk about Samoa Joe and why AEW needs to sign him. Obviously, Joe is a phenomenal talent. He can talk, he can work, and it's becoming apparent even with the legends. I mean, you see Paul White, Mark Henry, Christian Cage all jump to AEW because WWE doesn't know how to handle legends. In my opinion, WWE looks at legends like, we can use you for a cheap pop, we can use you to sell merch. They don't know how to use legends, so all the legends jump. Simple as that. I might as well do Daniel Bryan before I forget. I'm gonna put... Okay, so I'm putting Daniel Bryan in other because if I recall correctly, he said at one point that he wanted to tour the world, essentially, before he fully retires in ring. So now that he's free from WWE, he can do New Japan. He can do basically anywhere he wants to go. I don't necessarily see him sticking around to do AEW Impact. I could see him doing like a return run in ROH. I don't see him going to NWA or MLW. So, next up we'll do the Iconics, formerly Iconics, Jessie McKay and Peyton Royce. Sorry, Jessie McKay and Cassie Lee. So for them, I'm saying this, I'm trying to keep my favoritism aside that I'm an Iconics mark. They need to go to Impact. And I say that because the Knockouts tag team titles have just returned. They've only had 2 champions, and of course Fire and Flava are the only they're the most prominent tag team in Impact right now. They had Rachel Evers, who I'm also always very glad. Nope, Rachel Ellering. I'm sorry, that was her WWE name. Rachel Ellering. I'm really glad to see that she is somewhere anyway, because she is also a very phenomenal talent from what I've seen her in the Mae Young Classics. I wish that they actually did something with her in NXT. But as far as the Iconics going to Impact, they need fresh bodies in Impact. And I'm going to try and not keep to my gatekeeping for Impact because I watch Impact a lot. They need it for their women's division, their women's tag division anyway. So I feel like that and plus they're being teased for their Slammiversary. So Impact's been doing a Slammiversary package, and it's like our world changes again. Obviously, we saw last year with Slater, Cardona. No, not Cardona. We saw Slater. We saw Heath Miller. Myers? No, I think Myers was before or after Slammiversary, or maybe it was a promo or vignette for Myers. And then we saw Eric Young return to Impact. So in that same vein, that for the Slammiversary promos, they've also got Samoa Joe and others that are listed that will be in the names here for possibly appearing in Impact. I rambled on too far enough already. Mickie James. Okay, sorry about that random jump cut. I think my headset just died because I heard the sounds die. So I might have to come back and record more of this later. That my headset needs to be charged. Or actually, hang on a second. Okay, now I got my headset charging, so now it shouldn't die, hopefully. Where was I? Mickie James. So, Mickie James, I can see her going to NWA, obviously with her husband, Nick Aldis, being the NWA World Champion. I don't think Mickie is quite ready to call it a career. I can only just see her going to NWA, again, because Aldis is there, but there's also like a huge crew of people that she can mix it up with in NWA. I haven't seen any NWA. I do want to, though. I wanted to watch Power, and then I forget what their current show is. Because they've been like all over the place in terms of like finding like what platform to have their show on. It's not Power anymore. I think it's Aftershock or something like that. So I do want to watch NWA, but in terms of the talent that's there, the only ones I can know offhand are Thunder Rosa and Serena Deeb, as well as anybody else who's over in NWA. Then Mickie can mix it up with them. Chelsea Green. I don't know why my cursor keeps disappearing on me. Chelsea Green. seems like she's able to go, or just from watching she did a Straight to Hell with Ross on Cultaholic, that she's not really, I mean, obviously she can't lean either way of either going to AEW or Impact, or coming back to Impact. So, I mean, because she's friends with Deonna Purrazzo, but then she also had some kind of connections in AEW. I think just Cody. I'm not 100% sure. Don't quote me on it. Oh, Chelsea. Where can she go? I mean, if she goes by... I mean, I don't... No, Chelsea Green is the name she used before WWE. Because I was thinking, does WWE own the copyright for Chelsea Green? But I don't think so. So... Where can Chelsea go? I want to say AEW, but I don't know. Wow, maybe I think I might just put her in AEW, because, or maybe she could go to Impact. Oh God, I don't know. This is difficult, because I'm thinking, like, from a character standpoint, if she decided to bring back Laurel Van Ness, which I like, the hot mess gimmick, that would be something to bring everywhere, I would think, or to multiple places. I know Britt Baker just another forewarning, I don't watch AEW. I don't know, I'm sure I probably made that clear before in other videos. I know Britt Baker just won the women's title there, and I haven't seen a lot of Chelsea in ring. Apparently she can go, and I guess depending on whatever gimmick she wants to bring to the table in AEW, that'd be good, because as far as I'm aware, there's not a lot of heavy gimmicks in AEW, at least for the women's division. Like, Abaddon is about the only one I can think of that has that's really character strong in the women's division. The rest of them are just pure athletes. So I think, for a gimmick standpoint, I think Chelsea should be going to AEW, whether, again, she does bring the Laurel Van Ness gimmick, or hot mess take of Chelsea Green, or something like that. Tucker. I'm trying to think if there's if at any point there's been releases that have gone to MLW. I feel like MLW is always a stepping stone up, not so much like getting your career back on track. If just I'm almost tempted to either say Other or Ring of Honor for Tucker. I'm not sure where else he's been before. I feel like Tucker could possibly do indies and then work his way back up, maybe? I don't know. I'll say Tucker for Other. Kalisto. I should probably feel like I need to make another thing for retired or other venture. I think I will say retired. Because of more people on this list. Okay, where was I? Kalisto. I feel like Kalisto would head back to, I assume he was a part of AAA. I could see him returning to Mexico anyway. I don't know about if he would go to NW. I don't know if he would go to, honestly, any of these. I feel like he would return to AAA more than anything else. But then again, we saw Leo Rush appear in AEW. But I feel like they've got plenty of luchadors and high flyers over in AEW right now. Impact's more character driven than like in-ring. I mean, not to say that any of them are poor in in-ring department, but character-wise or athletic ability-wise, like they got it all solid there in AEW. So I feel like I put Kalisto and other. Next is Mojo, which Mojo, I don't know. His reputation supersedes him a lot. I think he's probably gonna stick to wrestling, or he could just retire and do something else entirely. Yeah, because his reputation in NXT really superseded him, and then you see like the whole Breaking Ground series with about him and Matt Cardona teaming up, and it's like basically Cardona was teamed with Mojo to like keep Mojo centered, keep him calm and collected, not be a wild party animal. Yeah, I don't think I could see Mojo returning to football. So I'll put Mojo in NWA. Why not? Give him a different avenue to go, and possibly maybe go somewhere with the character that he was apparently teasing with the whole shattered face paint malarkey that they had going on for him. Bo Dallas. Bo's a rough one because he hasn't gone anywhere, or he hasn't been on TV since 2019, if I'm correct. But then he's also IRS's son. I mean, not that that should make a world of a difference, but in terms of like trying to figure somewhere to put him and like what kind of different direction he can go. He could use the Rotunda name if he wanted to. He's free to do that, just like IRS did in other promotions outside of WWE. I think he went by Mike Rotundo. But for his in-ring style, again, I'm really struggling to think if anybody has ever gone to MLW post a WWE release, or release entirely. Because Killer Cross, I think after he left Impact and before he went to WWE, he did make an appearance in MLW, fighting Filthy Tom Lawler. But God, just to see something different, I'll put Bo Dallas in ROH, just because he could use the Rotundo. How is it? Is it Rotundo or Rotunda? I think it's Rotundo. You could use the Rotunda name and do something with it. Bring that name back to the mainstream, if you will. And Wesley Blake. I'm kind of struggling to remember if Wesley Blake is Australian. Murphy is, I know for sure. I don't think he is. Yeah, he's Texas. Blake? Again, for something different, I'll put it there. I'll put him in MLW. Why not? Now that, and we'll get to him in a second. Now that his other half, Murphy, is been released Excuse me. So now we'll come to the next round, which is the releases from today, which is Braun Strowman, Aleister Black, Lana Murphy, Ruby Riott, and Santana Garrett. Strowman. Dude's like a moneymaker. Like, this is apparently, like, I think from a fan's perspective, it's a huge surprise that he's gone, but I guess it's kind of being reported now if Discord wants to come back. I saw somebody post a link from Cultaholic saying that Backstage Talent isn't surprised that Braun's been released. And Discord doesn't want to load. Cool. So, and I think this is probably why I brought in the retire or other venture category, is because I don't see Braun sticking around with wrestling, to be perfectly honest. Because then what else can he do? He can go back to bodybuilding, but then... And I'm only kind of leaning for Strowman to come to Impact, to go to potentially Impact, because you got the former Big Cass or Cass XL, W. Morrissey, as his name in Impact is now. He's there. He's a giant dude. Obviously, he's not as built as Braun Strowman in terms of being a former strongest man. Not that I want to think that Strowman would retire, but in terms of going anywhere else, and then plus there was that controversy a couple years ago when he won the Universal title, and people were giving him crap about not doing the indies, and it seemed like he backfired in some kind of way that wasn't looked at positively. So... But can Braun go Hollywood though? No. Well, Batista did, and that was a surprise. So, Braun, put you in there because I don't really know where else you could go. Yeah, Discord's not gonna look for me. Aleister Black. He can go back to Tommy End. That name. I think the immediate would be for Aleister Black to go to AEW. That'd be like the obvious choice. However, I can see him in these other three. He can go to ROH, MLW, or NWA. I can see him pulling that off easily. Probably with the ROH crowd and the NWA crowd. I'll put him in ROH. Oh yeah, plus I was gonna say he could probably go back to the European scene, but he's but what do I want to call her? Thea Trinidad / Zelina Vega. She's apparently returning back to WWE. So, but maybe with Black's release, maybe she won't. I don't know. It's gonna make for a very interesting situation in their household. Lana, easily, she's gonna go to AEW because Miro's there. Obviously, what can she do? Probably just be a mouthpiece. Because honestly, that's the best thing she ever did, was be a valet. Sorry. Ruby Riott. Okay, now I was talking to people in my Discord about Ruby as well. I immediately thought she can go to Impact. And some people thought, no, she can go to AEW. I know AEW's women's division has struggled. But I feel like with... Because I don't know if the fans ever really got behind in terms of wanting Hikaru Shida to become women's champion. However, I know people have been getting behind Britt Baker and praising her like know tomorrow the fans have anyway, responding well to Britt Baker. So they put the title on her. So I want to say the women's division in AEW is good now with Britt Baker at the helm. However, they need to give somebody, they need somebody else to put in with Deonna Purrazzo in the Knockouts division, because there's literally nobody. There's literally nobody for Deonna to face in Impact. She's defeated everybody, essentially. I'm trying to think, because it's getting to the point now in Impact that they're programming, that they're booking her, like the women's champion, with, sorry, I'm looking up the Under Siege card. I'm going to try and find the Under Siege card right now, because I don't remember if she had who she had a match with at. Oh, she defeated Havoc. Okay, I didn't remember. Next is Against All Odds, and I don't think she has a match yet. Oh, she's facing Rosemary. Okay. But because there was a point where they were booking her with in the tag division, essentially. I mean, obviously to find new champions, determine new champions, and then even then, like, there's a whole faction warfare, if you will, between Deonna, Kimberly, Susan, and then and then other members of the roster. So they're really mixing like all that kind of star power together, and there's not much going on for Deonna in a singles competition. So I think having Ruby Riott, or if she wants to go back to Heidi Lovelace, that would be fantastic. No, she didn't use that name before WWE, did she? Ruby Riott? I thought she did. Oh my god, why does my cursor keep disappearing? It's annoying as all get out. I don't recall. I don't think she used that name before WWE. Hold on a second. I'm trying to remember. Okay, yeah, no, so Ruby Riott was her WWE name. For some reason I thought that was also her indie name, but it was just Heidi Lovelace. Okay, so now we come to Murphy. I completely missed Murphy. Why? I'm sorry, Murphy. Murphy. Oh, man. My initial instinct is he can go to NWA. But in terms of the X division and Impact, he would fit in there perfectly, especially with Josh Alexander, Rohit Raju, TJP, and others. Murphy would be a hell of an asset anywhere, because he is a phenomenal athlete. He's great. So I don't really want to keep I don't want to keep the gatekeeping thing to Impact. I don't know where he would fit in AEW. I could see him doing NWA. Again, just from what I know of NWA, because you got Mike Bennett there, you got Nick Aldis, and whoever else is over there in NWA. Again, just for the idea of having him in the X division, and because the Impact is really focusing on smaller guys, or at least they were with Rich Swann as the world champion, I'll put Murphy in there in Impact. Again, the idea of him and Josh Alexander mixing it up would be a fantastic idea. And then we come to Santana Garrett. Now, as far as I'm aware, she did not have a large presence in NXT. I know the name because she was in the Mae Young Classic, and then even before that, just on the Independents. So, just by name recognition alone, I can think that she would go to AEW, but then also, she could go to NWA. Because, and I don't want to I don't want to say anything negative about her, but I don't think she's quite to the level yet of, like, she's like really close to breaking through, I would think. So I think NWA would be a great place for her, just to really get like fine tuning and stuff before she jumps to another promotion. Hang on a second, it finally loaded on me, Discord. I don't think... saw something really stupid on Discord. It was a fake WWE account saying the WWE has come to the release of Vince McMahon. Okay, well... yeah, okay, there's nothing... okay, yeah, so Santana Garrett. Now, there is... I tried to scroll. Hold on, I gotta scroll back through Discord. Now there is... now that we get to the end of here, the current SmackDown roster consists of about 22 active male competitors and 7 females. 7 female wrestlers, with only 2 women's tag teams, Natalya, Tamina, Dana, and Mandy. Across Raw and SmackDown. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, WWE talent, not surprised by Braun's release. Okay, so... here we go. Now we come to the end, and here's going to be more interesting news if at all it happens. I guess there's going to be more releases coming, and it's going to be consisting of Liv Morgan, Keith Lee, Angel Garza, and Humberto Carrillo. Which for Keith Lee, ooh, that would be a huge, huge loss on WWE's part if they let him go. So, in the event that they get released, we'll book them in this scenario as well. Yeah, so, Keith Lee. I think it's obvious that he would go to AEW. I don't think there would be anywhere else that he can go, honestly. Because everybody would want him really badly, and AEW has the financial capacity to sign him to a very lucrative contract. So, in the event that these releases are true, Keith Lee, he would definitely go to AEW. Liv Morgan, at this point, she would probably go anywhere that Ruby does. So I'll put Liv in Impact. Struggling to find stuff. Angel Garza and Humberto Carrillo. Now they're cousins. That's not a storyline thing. They're cousins. They would probably do AAA, or I feel like one of them might sign with one of the bigger companies, whether it's being AEW or Impact. Where can they go? Humberto and Garza. I haven't seen a lot of Humberto. I do like Garza. I think his moveset is fantastic. And he's got that Latino heat vibe about him with the whole romance angle. Do I want to put them in other, or I could probably see them going to NWA, or at least Garza. I don't want to say that Garza is a more talented one than Humberto, but Humberto's call up was like out of the left field completely. But I don't see them going to AEW or Impact. If they do, good on them. I feel like Humberto, I don't know what it is. I feel like Humberto would probably do Ring of Honor, or he could do other like AAA or New Japan or something. Probably not New Japan. And then, I don't know, I just got like a gut feeling about Garza in NWA. Oops. I don't know, just because he's... I mean, not to say that we haven't seen or heard Humberto talk a lot, but mic skills alone, Garza is pretty good on the mic, I think. And moveset, he's solid, so... I feel like Garza would be good in NWA. Again, I want to watch NWA, so I believe that is going to be it. I'll just check. Okay, yeah, I know. There's nothing else here, so yeah, hold on. I just want to really look, see if I missed anybody that was also released in 2021 before I wrap up this video, sorry. Oh, yes, we have a lot more. I completely forgot. I apologize. Okay, so we also have, I should have done this first. Okay. So we got Velveteen Dream, Jessamine Duke, Vanessa Bourne, Skylar Story / Brandy Lauren, Ezra Judge, I'm not sure who that is. Kavita Devi, I don't know that name. Alexander Wolf, let's see. Andrade, well, he's teasing a match with Omega and AAA, or it's been confirmed. So they're not fairly recent. The only other recent ones I forgot about were Alexander Wolf, Dream, Duke, and Vanessa Bourne. I'll do Velveteen Dream, Wolf, and Brandy Lauren only because they're the only ones that I know of. Well, okay, so Vanessa Bourne, so probably go back to Independence. Same, Jessamine Duke, she was part of that squad with, she was part of the 4 Horsewomen with Shayna. She's not the one that's married to Roderick Strong. That's Marina Shafir, and even then, we haven't seen a lot of Marina either. So Jessamine Duke, I don't know. I'll put her in Retire or Other Venture. I don't know if she would be willing to go back to MMA. Velveteen Dream, oof. I don't need to explain Velveteen Dream. Wolf. I feel like Wolf, on Shock Factor alone, he might go to AEW or Impact, just on shock value alone, but I don't know like what they can do with him. either promotion. I mean, his ring work is really good. But in terms of character, I have no idea. I'm gonna put Wolf in here because I don't know what else he can bring to the table, I guess, in terms of like gimmick or anything. As Red Judge, I don't know who that is. I think it's an NXT talent. It looks like it. Lars Sullivan, I'm not even gonna bother to put him on this list because his career's more or less over. No, he did retire, actually, I think. Yeah, I think he retired from wrestling, yeah, because anxiety and everything got the worst of him. Who was I going to do? Brandy Lauren. I don't know. Looks alone, she'll probably go to AEW or Impact, but I'll put her in other. Because she might just go back to independence. I think that's it. Otherwise, yeah, that's it for this. Been doing this for half hour. I apologize. So that's all the releases, at least most of the major releases from April 15th and then June 2nd. So again, that's just my thoughts on where everybody could possibly end up. We'll just run through them quickly. In AEW, Samoa Joe, Chelsea Green, Lana, Keith Lee. Impact, the Iconics, Ruby, Murphy, and Liv. I don't know why so many women. I don't know. ROH, I got Bo Dallas, Aleister Black, and Humberto Carrillo. NWA, Mickey James, Mojo, Santana, and Angel Garza. MLW, Wesley Blake. Other, like New Japan, Independence, etc. Got Brian Kalisto, Tucker, Vanessa Bourne, Alexander Wolf, Brandy Lauren, and then retire other venture Braun, Jessamine Duke, and Velveteen Dream. So that's going to be it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure to drop a like on this video. And I'm going to stop myself from doing my normal outro. Let me know your thoughts on all these releases and where you think everybody could possibly end up down in the comment section below. Otherwise, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.